This core workout is made for the early postpartum period as you're easing your way back into movement. If you had a C-section, you're gonna wait until about 6 weeks to start doing some of these movements. For everyone else, just listen to your body. If something doesn't feel right, don't do it, just skip it. This is a timed rep workout. We're gonna start with a little warm up and then get into our circuit, and we're gonna do the circuit 2 times. All you need for this workout is a Pilates ball. If you don't have one of these, don't worry about it. You can use a pillow or nothing at all. My name's Kylie. I'm a pelvic floor physical therapist that specializes in prenatal and postpartum exercise. Let's get into it. All right, so I have my timer going for 45 seconds on, 15 seconds rest. So again, we're gonna do 45 seconds of work and then take 15 seconds of rest in between each exercise and carry that through 2 times. All right, we're gonna start in about 10 seconds and we're gonna start again with a little warm up. We're gonna do some diaphragm breathing. So important for that early postpartum period as you're getting some movement back into your rib cage. So sit up tall like I am, cup the sides of your rib cage, and then breathe into your hands. Push your hands out to the side. On your exhale, you want to think of letting those ribs come slowly and gently back down and in. So I'm not forcing it like that, but it is a gentle and slow movement coming back down and in. And then on the inhale, I'm actively trying to push my ribs out to the side, so it should feel effortful. Now my timer just went off for 45 seconds, but I think I want to do that one again, just so we really hammer it home, and it's such an important warm up to do before our core exercises. So keep going, and notice that I am not doing that. Nothing is happening up top here. Everything is happening at my lateral rib cage. And this is something that I instruct my patients to do week 1 after you delivered, whether you had a vaginal delivery or a cesarean section. Really try to push the ribs out this time. Hold it for just a second and then slowly ribs come back down in. Okay, we're gonna do that same thing, but just in a different position. So you're gonna lay on your side, right or left, it doesn't matter because we're gonna do both. And cup the side of your rib cage. Push your hand out to the side. And I love starting off with the seated rib cage breathing, the diaphragm breathing, and then moving into the sideline breathing because we get to isolate one side. And you might notice that one side feels stickier than the other, feels more difficult to move. And you can just kind of gently use your hand to kind of guide your rib cage back down and in. When you are pregnant, your rib cage is going to expand and it's going to be very difficult, impossible to get that rib cage to come back down in while you're pregnant because obviously you have a baby in your uterus and your abdomen. So this is us trying to get your rib cage moving again, get your diaphragm moving again, because remember your diaphragm is a muscle. Switch sides, if I didn't make that clear. Push your hand out. And this is again supposed to be a core workout, your first core workout back into exercising, first core workout postpartum. So with that, we're not going super heavy. I just want you to start to feel these muscles firing again, hopefully. And if you don't feel that, that is a-okay. It usually takes a couple weeks in order for us to get that transverse abdominis, that deepest core muscle, back in action again. But just take it slow. All right, and then our last warm up is gonna be child's pose breathing. So we're now gonna work on getting our posterior, our back rib cage to move. So you're gonna come into a child's pose position and kind of curl up into a little ball. Sometimes I like to put my Pilates ball or the pillow right here so that I'm blocking the front rib cage, and then I'm just going to, again, breathe into my back. And for me, I really feel like almost like my back wants to pop when I do this, and sometimes it does. And it's such a good stretch for the rib cage. And you can just rest your head like I wasn't doing. One more breath. All right. Now, if you want to repeat that, feel free to do so, but we are gonna make our way into our exercise. So we're gonna start off on our back. I'm gonna pause that for just a second. Start off on our back, grab your pillow or your ball, place it between the knees. Okay, I'm gonna take my clip out. Now, we're gonna do a deep core squeeze. So the diaphragm breathing that we just did plays a really important role here. We're gonna start off by breathing into your rib cage just like you just did, and then on your exhale, ribs come down and in. Squeeze your hip bones together. So you're thinking of squeezing this hip bone and this hip bone together. You're not physically gonna be able to move your hip bones. That would be insane if you could, but it's a good cue to try to get that transverse abdominis, that deepest core muscle to fire. So, and then on your exhale, the third thing you're gonna think about is squeezing the ball with your knees. So first, rib cage down and in. Second, hip bones squeeze together. Third, squeezing the ball. It's a gentle movement. If you're maxing out as hard as you can, odds are you're not gonna be working that deepest layer, especially if this is your first core workout postpartum. All right, I'm gonna shut up now, and we were gonna get going with that. So again, breathe into the sides. Exhale, squeeze. And I like to put my hands, so you find that muscle by finding your hip bone, just gently move your hands, or move your hand about your fingers, oh my goodness, words are hard, fingers about an inch in, and you should feel that muscle just pop into your finger. This is what I always give people to start off with if we are working with a diastasis. Good. You know what? Let's just do that one again because it's such an important one. I know I'm making us do a lot of them again, but I think it just really is an important movement to do. So notice that I start with my hands at my rib cage so that I'm making sure to breathe into my hands on the inhale. Again, active inhale. I'm actively trying to push my ribs out to the side. On the exhale, I move my hands down to my hip bone so that I can feel, or try to feel, you might not be able to, and that's okay. Try to feel that muscle, that very slight, just kind of pop into my fingers, okay? Notice how slow I'm breathing. Extended inhales, extended exhales. You're gonna ditch that ball and we're gonna come into supine marches. So it's the same movement really, except on the exhale, we're adding in a leg lift and we're gonna alternate. Just watch me here. Inhale, exhale, squeeze before you lift your leg. Good. And the goal here is to not let your pelvis rock side to side. You want to think of really engaging and stabilizing before lifting that leg. And I always tell people it's really easy to make deep core exercises really easy. If you're just kind of flopping through the motions and not trying to engage your deepest core, not trying to extend those exhales, extend those inhales, it's gonna feel really easy. And that might not be a bad thing if this is your first core workout and you're feeling kind of iffy about it. You don't need to go as hard as you can, but I do want you to really focus on the movement. Come into a side lying position, same thing, deep core squeeze, but now we're in a side lying position. Grab your pillow or your ball, place it right here. On the exhale, you're gonna push into the ball. I like to rest my head down actually when I'm doing this. So all I'm doing is thinking of bringing my two hip bones together, okay? I'm not sucking in. I'm not like trying to do anything like that. It is an engagement of that muscle, which means that, what does it mean? I don't know. It means that I'm not gonna be sucking in. I sometimes hear people give that cue, and I don't love it because that makes you wanna like do that when that is not engaging that transverse abdominis. Switch to the other side. Same thing. Exhale, push into the ball. Try to pay attention to what's happening up top. I just caught myself like straining my neck muscle for no reason. Just rest it and rest those neck muscles. So again, same movement, just a different position. I want you to be able to engage that muscle in various positions through, you know, isolated movements like we're doing right now, but also when you're doing a squat, when you go to do a deadlift. So this is prepping you for those higher intensity exercises as well. Okay, we're gonna come onto your hands and knees, and again, same deep core squeeze. Place that pillow or the ball between your knees. And then take a nice deep breath in, and exhale, squeeze your hip bones together. Deep breath in, squeeze hip bone to hip bone. Keep going. So visually, it should look like you're not doing anything. And personally, when I first started out doing deep core exercises, that was the most frustrating part. It feels very slow, but it is hard, again, if you're doing it right. So breathe into the sides. Exhale, squeeze. And you can give a little squeeze to the pillow or the ball, and that should help to get that deep core engaged, and your pelvic floor. Anytime we're doing deep core work, we are doing pelvic floor work too. So you should feel good about that. All right, we're gonna do our last exercise of the circuit. Grab your pillow or your ball, come into a tall kneel position. Okay, I'm gonna inhale on my way down, and then exhale on my way up. And I am just gently pressing into the ball pretty much the whole time. But on my inhale, I'm really still focusing on trying to expand the ribs, okay? Exhale, inhale down, exhale, getting some glutes involved too. But you're still thinking wrapping hip bone to hip bone. That's the main movement here. Okay, that's the end of circuit one. We're gonna do that same thing from the top. My mat is getting crazy. All right, so get on your back. I need water. I'm working up a sweat here. Okay, so on your back, pillow or ball between the knees, and we're coming into that deep core squeeze, okay? Exhale, squeeze. Really pay attention to what you're doing. See if you can feel that muscle engage. Now with the ball, I'm not squeezing as hard as I can. I'm giving about 25% effort. Even with trying to squeeze my hip bones together, I'm thinking about giving 25% effort, okay? I find that when I give that cue, I can sometimes get that muscle to engage a lot better. All right, ditch the ball. We're coming into our supine marches. You could, if you're wanting to, you could hold this ball in front of your face here and then give it a little extra squeeze on the exhale. So exhale, squeeze hip bone to hip bone. Just a little something extra. You don't have to do that though. But hopefully you can do this workout when baby's napping, when you have 10 minutes to just squeeze something in. You'll hear there's a lot of chit chat on the internet. I'm sure you're well aware of what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing during these early weeks postpartum. And a common myth that I hear, or a common thing that I hear people say that is a myth, come into your side. We're doing the sideline breathing now, is that you shouldn't do anything before your 6-week checkup with your OB. And that is just not the case. Now, we're not gonna go out and do like a 6-mile run or a hike, but we can start to just do some gentle movement, especially if you are an active person and you're wanting to get back to the exercises that you know and love. It'd be crazy at 6 weeks to just jump right back into what you were doing before without any sort of prep work. So that's what we're doing right now. We're prepping those muscles for the higher intensity stuff while working on things like diastasis and pelvic floor engagement. So I'm a big proponent of early movement. All right, switch sides. We're almost done. But also prioritizing rest. I don't think I need to say that, but just in case that wasn't clear. I'm gonna try not to blow right into that mic. And I'm really trying to focus on, can I get my rib cage to come back down and in gently and slowly, but making sure that it is coming back down and in, so it's not staying flared out like this. Great. Now let's come into our kneeling, or not kneeling, our hands and knees deep core squeeze. No fancy names here. I just name them exactly what it looks like and what it sounds like. So come onto your hands and knees. And same thing, ball between the knees. Now notice with my spine, I'm not like this, but I'm also not like this. So on my exhale, I'm not rounding at all. I'm maintaining that neutral spine. So I love when people have a mirror nearby and you can watch yourself in the mirror and check your form. So exhale, squeeze. Visually, doesn't look like I'm doing anything. And then check in with your shoulders too. Are you like this or are you like this? Get strong through the shoulder blades. And just like that, we made it to the last exercise. So grab that pillow, grab the ball, and we're gonna inhale down. Exhale, come up. I started a little early. Got too excited to do the kneeling squat. You keep going. Another question I get is, do I have to do the movements with the breathing? Do I have to coordinate it? And in the beginning, yes, I want you to do that. I want you to really be deliberate about, exhaling and trying to get the deep core involved and exhaling while you're doing the most effortful part of the movement. Just in the beginning, We can go down a rabbit hole of how you should be breathing, throughout higher intensity exercises, but for the beginning part, yes, just think about exhaling and squeezing your hip bones together during the most effortful part of the movement, okay? And just like that, your first core workout is complete. I hope you're feeling really good right now and really proud of yourself for doing your first core workout postpartum. Say that 5 times fast. I will continue to make these workouts for the early postpartum time and for the later postpartum journey. That didn't make sense, but you know what I'm trying to say. But I hope you had a good time. I hope you're feeling really good. Feel free to come back to this exercise whenever you want. And I will see you in the next one. Take care.